Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Antonio checking in. And today I want to talk about how if you change your perception, you can change your reality. Now, you got to understand that, at least based off my experience, I understand that my reality is based off of my perception. So, in a sense, reality as I know it, it's not real. And when I say it's not real, it's because it's ever changing. And it's basically going off how I perceive it. Recently, I just came back from a trip down to Florida, beach trip, family trip, and I just soaked in a lot of feelings. And when I say I soaked in a lot of feeling on the trip to Florida, I just felt what it would feel like if I'm, constantly traveling with my family, if I'm, living in my desired state, if I'm like, what decisions would I make if I was this successful, abundant, wealthy person? And I captured that feeling and I brought it back home with me. And now my perception has switched. My reality has switched. It's like something went off in me. A new level of awareness, a new level of consciousness. It's like I tapped into it. And it's got me thinking from a standpoint of what decision would I make right now at this very moment if I was to have XYZ? If I was to have XYZ dollars in my bank account, what decision would I make right now? When it's time for me to eat something, I'm thinking from that healthy, wealthy, abundant version of me. Like, what would that person want to eat at this very moment? When I got some free time, what would that abundant, healthy, wealthy version of me, what would it be doing, And I'm constantly working on that inner dialogue as the day continues. And I've been noticing a steady shift because of my change in my perception. Not my change in reality, but my change in perception, because everything is inward. And you don't have to explain this, what you're doing, to everybody, because people will downplay you, people will laugh at you. You got to be able to really stand your ground and stand on business when it comes to really changing your reality or changing your perception, which in return will shift your reality. And even now back home in Georgia, like, I still have that feeling like it's the beach. I'm close to the beach. And then when I realized I went to Florida, I was like, yo, I'm gonna get me a beach house, yo. Not necessarily said I gotta live there and stay there, but I'm gonna get me a beach house. And I noticed how I accepted that versus the old me, like, nah, I don't know, beach house, it might flood, storm might come, yada, yada, yada. It might cost too much. That was my limited thinking. Now I'm like, well, I get a beach house, if that's what come with it, flooding, storming, oh well, we get insurance. The waves knock it down, we'll build it back up. But I also realized when I was traveling how much inspiring that is. Then I realized how much life, how much meaning traveling has to me. So I personally got a lot of inner work to do. Like, this personal development, it's an ongoing task. But it's small things along the way that'll show you, like, okay, I'm on the right path. And I'm telling you guys, once I start having those thoughts, I always see synchronicity numbers, but the more I have those thoughts, like thinking from the successful, abundant version of me, once I started just doing it for a little bit, I started seeing synchronicity numbers everywhere. So that alone showed me that I'm on the right path. I always see synchronistic numbers 222, 333, 555. But once I start having these thoughts like, yo, let me change my perception. So now when I'm driving around in Georgia, in my mind, I'm driving around in another state with my family. You know, I'm driving to our beach house. You feel? I'm driving to the beach because I love being by the beach. I love the water. For some reason, it's just inspiring for me as an artist. And I realized like how by me being by water, it seems so right. It seems like I'm at peace. I seem so centered when I'm by bodies of water. And I just want to wake up one day and just my backyard be the beach. Like literally, I walk off my patio and touching the sand. So that gave me a sense of, okay, let me change my perception. And I even went deeper and was like, yo, I had a thought that came up that's like, yo, discipline equals abundance. Discipline equals wealth. And I kind of was talking to the universe. I was like, yo, if I can get everything that I want, I'll be disciplined. And when I said that out loud, I was like, well, why don't I reverse that thought? Why don't I just be disciplined and get everything that I want? So now I'm honing back in on my discipline side of me because I realize like it's a mental thing. And I know it's a mental thing because I've even added another car to my dream car list. There's only 2 real cars that I really want. The first car I will always visualize. I will see it every day. The second car is a car that you don't see all the time, but I start visualizing it, and I got a chance to actually sit in that actual car. I got a picture, I got a visual, I got a smell. Man, tell me why I don't start seeing that car. That's why I was like, okay, okay. So now on my end, all I got to do is be disciplined. And now I'm starting to think from that desired state. I'm starting to think from the healthy, the wealthy, the rich, the abundant version of me. Because I want to be rich. I ain't going to sit here and lie to y'all. But I'm thinking from that version of me. Like, what would the healthy version of Antonio eat right now? You know, what would the rich, successful version of Antonio do right now? And every decision that I'm thinking, I'm not saying it out loud, but it could be the smallest decision. And I'm thinking from that standpoint because I know that eventually I will merge into the individual. Like I said, me making these videos is just me documenting because it's not like when it comes to this self-development that you just gonna reach a certain point and that's it. No, this self-development, personal development is lifelong. But I know right now where I stand in certain places that I want to go. Like I don't want to sit around and have my life dependent on, oh, I got to call my boss and see if I got enough PTO to take off, or if my kids get sick, or I got to take off from work, or if I miss a day of work, it's going to be severe change to my paycheck. Like that's not living. And I don't want my life to be in nobody's hands but mine. You know? That's just being real. And now that I've really accepted and really know that it's possible and I really can tap into the feeling, it's all about that discipline. Like with me, it's about discipline because I realize when you discipline, you can have whatever you want. What you got to even change your perception when it comes to discipline, because a lot of times people think discipline is hard, but you got to change that perception and really think that discipline is fun. And you just got to know the keys, the things in life that really help you. Like for me, it's nature, it's being by the water, it's traveling with my family, eating good healthy food, being able to get a massage, being able to go to sauna, real self-love, self-care, real growth, real just embracing the moment. My art, you feel me? Being creative, like just being free, not adhering to society norms. You got to know what works for you, and you got to use what works for you to change your perception. Because once you change your perception, you will change your reality. Peace.